They say you have 8 seconds to capture the attention of the audience in Videoland. Well, there we go. Welcome, everybody. Now that I hope I got your attention, today we're going to be talking about the what are we going to be talking about? The self-confidence formula laid out by Napoleon Hill in this book, Think and Grow Rich. In yesterday's live stream, we covered step 1 of his 5-step formula. And today we're going to talk about steps 2 and steps 3, since they're pretty closely related to one another. It's about the power of thought. See, Napoleon Hill, in his writings, he believed that thoughts are things. Thoughts are the very foundational things that our world is made up of. And when we learn that and we learn to pay attention to our thoughts, we can really empower ourselves in a way that most people just totally ignore. And so what I'd like to do to get this live stream started out is to just go back over the first step that Napoleon Hill talked about in his self-confidence formula, and then get into steps 2 and steps 3. So step 1, first, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. In that first step, Napoleon Hill essentially says, know thyself. Get to know who you are, what your definite purpose is in life. What is it that you want to accomplish? And then know that you have the power to attain that goal, whatever it may be. But first, the most primary thing is know thyself, because in this world, a lot of people are going to be giving you advice, some good advice, some bad advice, especially those that are closest to you, the folks that you know and love. And some of them are going to be trying to save you from yourself. And you really have to have a firm grasp on who you are, a firm knowledge of who you are, what it is that you want to attain in your life. What kind of a dream do you want to live? Do you want to live your own dream? Do you want to live somebody else's dream? You have to make that decision yourself. A brilliant example of this is George Thorogood. I used this example in a short video about an hour ago. But he wanted to be a rock star. And if you know what it was, at 1980s rock, 70s rock. I think he was popular up until the 90s too. But he had a song called Get a Haircut and Get a Real Job. And it was based on the advice that his family was giving him, trying to save him from, being a victim of his own dreams. They didn't think he could become a big rock and roll star. They didn't think that he really was good enough. And I mean, they probably had some good points, because there's a lot of people out there that have tried to become big rock and rollers, never made it. But he felt deep within that he could do it. This was his dream. This is what he wanted to accomplish in his life. And his family was telling him, get a haircut, get a real job, get it together, don't be a slob, get it together like your big brother Bob, get a haircut and get a real job. And I mean, that's what they were trying to warn him about. But you know what? He stuck to his guns. He said, I am going to become a big rock and roll star. And he made it. And he wrote that song, Get a Haircut, Get a Real Job. And now he shares, he's making more money than his big brother Bob ever dreamed of. But I mean, when you are trying to determine for yourself what you want to do, whether it be, being a rock star, or being an affiliate marketer, or a network marketer, or being in sales, a lot of times, lucrative sales jobs can look very enticing. But then you figure out, okay, I've got to make sales in order to earn commissions. So is this really what I want to do with the rest of my life? If you know yourself, you know your mission, you know your purpose, you know your primary definite purpose in life. Once you know that, you can empower yourself to really chase after your dreams because you know that is why you are living. That is why the universe put you where they put you. And I mean, you really are empowered to live your dream if you just take that first step and know thyself. And now we're going to get into the second step. Second step being, I realize that dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily. And he turns the page. For 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Napoleon Hill realized, he wrote this, I believe, back in the 1920s. He realized something that Leo Buscaglia would later start talking about in the 80s and the 90s. We are not necessarily human beings. We are human becomers. And we have to take a little bit of time each day to focus on the person we want to become. We know who we are right now, hopefully, especially if you've done the work of that first step, getting to know thyself. We know who we are. We know where we're at right now. We also have to get it firmly established in our minds where we want to go, where we want to be. We want to know who it is we want to become in the near future. And we have to set a goal. Okay, who do I want to become within the next 6 months? Who do I want to become within the next year, the next 2 years, the next 5 years? And have a plan for how we are going to become that person. But even before we do that, we need to take the step of getting it fixed in our mind. Who is it that I want to become in the next 6 months? And then take 30 minutes a day, focusing our mental effort on becoming that person, seeing ourselves as that person, focusing on having attained the prize already and be able to feel a feeling of gratitude, a feeling of hope, a feeling of just, having had that already. And just saying to the universe, thank you for letting me become this person. So yeah, the second step is really focusing for 30 minutes every day on the person that we want to become. And then I would take it a step further. And at nighttime, just say to the universe, say to Source, say to the God of your understanding, thank you for giving me this gift of life and giving me the opportunity to live out my dreams. Because you know what? So many people don't. They don't live out their dreams. They feel trapped. They don't think they have a choice. They don't think they have any options. And that is a sad rut to be in. And believe me, I've been stuck in that rut for years myself until I finally learned to start cleaning up my own mindset and start beginning to live my own dreams rather than being stuck in somebody else's nightmare. And I mean, that's what it is when you're living somebody else's dream and you're not living your own. It's kind of like living in somebody else's nightmare. Been there, done that, hate it. I'm focusing on living my own dreams right now. And then the third step, let's get into that too, because it is so closely related to step 2. Third, I know through the principle of auto-suggestion, your thoughts, your self-talk, what you say to yourself, what you affirm within your own heart. I know through the principle of auto-suggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. You see, self-confidence is not something that we attain all at once. We're not born, well, maybe some of us are born with self-confidence, but the vast majority of us have to work on it. First time you do something, you won't be confident about it. I remember in my own life, a big key turning point in my life was becoming a part-time filler pastor for a Christian church in my neighborhood. I was the elder of the church when our pastor left. I was talked into becoming head of the search committee. I didn't want that job. I didn't feel confident in it. And then the guy that was talking to me, the guy that convinced me, I mean, he was a pro at sales. And I told him, I don't feel like I've got what it takes to be head of the search committee. And he looked at me and he said, Ralph, if you're not capable of doing this, who is? And I mean, he sold me on it. I mean, just a 10-minute conversation. If you don't do it, I don't know anybody else who is as well qualified as you are to do this job. And so, yeah, I agreed. Okay, I will be on the search committee. I will help to, find a new pastor. And on the search committee, we decided until we find a new pastor, we would take turns filling the pulpit and giving sermons every Sunday. And we thought, however long it takes, we will do this. And we all got up there. I think we had about 5 people on the search committee. And 3 of us decided, okay, we'll take turns filling the pulpit every Sunday and just stand up there and give the best sermon that we could. And, the first guy got up there, did a pretty good job. Second guy got up there, did a pretty good job. My turn rolled around, and by this time, the other 2 had decided, okay, I had one good sermon in me. That was it. I'm not doing this anymore. Ralph, you're up. It's all up to you. And so I got up there my first Sunday, filling the pulpit as a part-time minister and full-time head of the search committee. I got up there and I had public experience in public speaking before. I had done public speaking. I had been in high school. I had won first honors in extemporaneous speech. So yeah, I'd done public speaking. I had done it fairly well. But getting up in front of that congregation on a Sunday morning, the feeling was anything but confidence. I didn't feel like I could do it. My knees were knocking, and I got up in front of that pulpit, hanging on to that pulpit for dear life. And I was telling people, as I was stumbling, trying to deliver that sermon, I was telling my congregation, many of which I knew as friends, I'm glad I have this pulpit in front of me because you can't see how nervous I am. I mean, my knees were literally shaking. And I don't know why. But I mean, it was the first time I had done anything like that in a church setting. And I mean, I got through that sermon. I don't know how. But I mean, I just pushed my way through it. And then I stepped down and I was told by the other people on the search committee, well done, Ralph. You did a great job. It's your job now for part-time. You can keep on doing this part-time because we don't want to have to do it part-time. And I was head of the search committee. It was my idea. So, man, it was my baby. So, yeah, first Sunday. I think the sermon stunk, but a lot of people, they were impressed that I had the guts to get up there and do it. My second Sunday, filling the pulpit, I was less nervous. I was more confident. I did a better job. Third time up there, I did a much better job. I think it was about the fifth or the sixth time that I was up there. And I was delivering a sermon that just came from the heart. And it came off smooth, great delivery. Didn't even have to write any notes down. I just had a few notes that were on a note card. That was it. I didn't have the whole sermon written out. And a lot of people told me, you know, Pastor, that was the best sermon I have ever heard. And the search committee met without me. They met behind my back. I was the head of the search committee, but the second in command of the search committee, he called a meeting, behind my back. And the reason he did that is that he wanted to tell the search committee, why are we wasting our time looking for a full-time pastor when we got a guy that can do the job right here? And they were talking about me. And you know what? Sometimes when people are calling secret meetings to talk about you behind your back, as it were, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And later the next day, the second in command, the church moderator, the guy that talked me into becoming the head of the search committee, he came up to me and he said, Ralph, would you be our new full-time pastor? And don't you dare say you're not qualified, because you are. We know it. We saw it in you last Sunday. We want you to be our full-time pastor. And so I agreed. But I mean, if I had given up that first sermon, that first time that I'd gotten up there, and I felt that I did a crappy job, a lousy job, I was so bloody nervous. I just wanted to crawl off somewhere and forget about it. But no, I got up there the second Sunday and the third Sunday and the fourth Sunday and the fifth Sunday. And finally, by the time it was my fifth and sixth Sundays, my self-confidence was built up to where I had become the person that I felt that church needed at that time. And the rest of the church agreed. But I mean, the lesson there is that we grow, we become the person that we are going to become. And we keep on growing, we keep evolving, we keep developing until we finally, feel like we have arrived. And some people it may take, a few weeks. Some people it may take a few months. Some people it may take them a year or more to get that mojo rolling. But once you do get that mojo rolling, you can really go with it. But I mean, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams. And as Napoleon Hill states in this book, Think and Grow Rich, spend 30 minutes a day focusing on the person you want to become. And then take 10 minutes a day demanding of yourself, I'm going to put in the work needed to become that person. I'm going to do the work needed to attain my goals. And I will attain them no matter what. And I mean, it helps if you do that mental preparation, because we have a lot working for us in our minds. We also have a lot working against us. A lot of us will have a little negative tape playing in our mind that, I'm really not cut out for this. I'm really not able to do a good job. Well, you need to cut that tape and you need to add something to it. Maybe I don't have what it takes yet, but I will. I'm working on that. I'm developing it. Maybe I am not that person I want to become yet, but I am going to grow into becoming that person. And maybe I don't have the self-confidence that it takes to get up in front of people, whether it be a small church congregation or your family at home or walking out on stage in front of thousands of people. Maybe I don't have what it takes to be walking up in front of people right now, but I'm growing that ability and I will become that person. And one thing that really helps is if you, in addition to spending 30 minutes a day just thinking about becoming that person, and 10 minutes a day convincing yourself you're going to do whatever it takes to do the work to become that person, another thing you can do is just start hanging out with the people who are already where you want to be. If you want to become like a 6, 7 figure earner, you don't feel like you have what it takes yet, hang out with 6 and 7 figure earners. We can do that online. We can do that on Facebook groups. We can do that in masterminds. I am part of a home business opportunity that has daily masterminds that you can take advantage of. You can start at the funnel builder level. It's a $25 a month level. They've got the Grow Rich Mastermind that you can participate in. It's a morning call. It's about an hour every morning. Great way to start your day. You can participate live by phone, or you can, if you're busy, if you got a real job, if you got a haircut and you got a real job and you can't make the meeting live, you can listen to the recording every day and just start listening to what 7-figure earners are doing in their own lives, how they are growing. I mean, in this group, we got 7-figure earners who are learning from 8-figure earners who are then sharing that with 5-figure earners and less. Anybody can get involved in this call. And a good way to get started is by, joining my work opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and put the offer up there. But yeah, there it is. Did it show? Yeah, it showed. All right. Yeah, ralphshomebiz.com/offers. That will show you the Home Business Academy offer, or HBA. You can get started there for $25 a month. And you can also join at the premium level for $125 a month. And on that level, we've got all kinds of trainings. We've got like 11 different masterminds that you can attend each week. And again, if you can't attend the mastermind trainings, you can listen to the recordings. But I mean, there you can learn from 7-figure earners who are more than willing to share their skills, share their knowledge with anybody that wants to learn. I mean, these guys, they are remarkably generous with their time. I just got off a mastermind about an hour or two ago, and the guy that was leading it, Mike Hobbs, he said that this was his third mastermind of the day already, and he was getting ready to do a fourth one later on tonight. And I'm going to be tuned into that one too. But I mean, I don't see how those guys schedule the time to do those things, but they do. And I mean, they've been doing this since 2016. And I mean, this is just an incredible learning opportunity. And if you're a member of the Home Business Academy, you can become an affiliate, you can learn, and you can earn 80% recurring commissions. So if you're at the $25 level, you bring in other people at the $25 level, costs you $25 a month, you can be earning $20 commissions. If you're in at the $125 level, it costs you $125 a month. You get trainings, practically every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Plus, they've got a Saturday thing you can go to as well. And so it's well worth it just for the trainings, but you sell it as an affiliate, you can be earning $100 recurring commissions. So, I mean, this is a great opportunity to learn and earn at the same time. So if you want to check it out, just go to ralphshomebiz.com. That link alone will get you into the funnel builder level offer. And if you want to see everything that I am in, I've got some free opportunities. I've got some, well, free learning mindset type opportunities, and then some paid business opportunities. But you can find all those links at that link, ralphshomebiz.com/offers. And again, being an online entrepreneur, it's not for everybody. When I first got started in this field, I didn't think it was for me, quite honestly. But I mean, I live in a rural community. Our job situation, jobs are not freely available. Good jobs cannot be found where I live. I had to drive to Springfield, Missouri, 60 miles away to find the second best job I could. And I mean, that sucked because it just didn't pay me to drive 120 miles a day to be working a minimum wage job. So finally, I just decided, I've got to make my home business count. I've got to make online business count. And so I just started getting involved in programs like HBA, the Home Business Academy, to have a product that I could sell for, earning some pretty good recurring commissions at, and something that I could use as a tool to help develop my own mindset, my own skill set, and just get going in it. And I made that decision, and now I'm glad that I did. It has really been a great experience learning and growing and learning how to become better at this. And the guys, they're big fans of Napoleon Hill. And I mean, they live this stuff. They don't just read it to you, they live it. And they've been living it since 2016. So, great group to be in if you want to check it out. So, anyway, that is my shameless plug for the end of this live stream. So, just remember, become the person that you are wanting to become. And in our next live stream, we will go over the final 2 steps of Napoleon Hill's self-confidence formula. Steps 4, steps 5. Till then, take care, and we'll be coming back at you tomorrow at 1:11 p.m. each and every day. We'll be doing this 7 days a week until, I feel like I've learned my lessons and I've gotten good enough at it. And then we may cut back to 5 days a week. But you know what? Right now, I'm thinking 7 days a week sounds pretty good. I can commit to it. I'm going to do it as long as I think there's an audience for this. So we'll see you tomorrow, 1:11. Take care. Have a great day. Ralph signing out.